How are you?
Not too bad.
Good.
Hot day today, and oh Jesus, life is life, you know.
That's true.
Are we ready to go?
We are indeed.
Okay, I wanted to tell a little story about retrocausality. This happened about a year ago, and we were staying at a hotel in Havies, which is a little town about 2-hour drive. And our taxi driver, his name is Jolt. He came to pick us up. A very good guy, a nice guy, and thinks the world of me. And good driver, taxi driver. Anyway, he gets into the taxi. We all get into the taxi. We are pulling out of the hotel. There's a couple of cars on the road, and it was winter time, so the roads were a little icy. And a car comes by, and he pulls out a little faster than normal to get out of the car. And just then, these two deer hop in front of us on the road. Now, I screamed, "Watch out." Okay. And then what I remember then, and I distinctly, fully remember this, more than it was so vivid and lucid and real. He tried to avoid the deer, slipped off the road, hit a ditch. We rolled over upside down. I had my seatbelt on. Rita did not. And I looked over and I saw blood, and I was hanging upside down. And I immediately in my mind, I went back. I couldn't accept that moment. And I went back and I recognized that when I said, "Watch out," Jolt had slightly turned because he doesn't speak any English at all. So when I went back this time, I said, "Vigaz," which is the Hungarian word for watch out, danger. And this time he looked and saw the deer and moved, and we were fine. And it was as if it never happened. But in my mind, it happened vividly. Vividly. But I was able to go back in time and change it. So now I think this is a thing of retrocausality. Our past, our present, our future. It's not written in stone. There's a flexibility here. There's a flexibility. We do have free will, and we can affect the past just like we can affect the future. Here's Rita. She just came in.
Hello.
Hello, Rita.
The Jolt in the car flipping over.
Yeah.
So
anyway. I mean, I'm finding that specifically as well. In the dream time, I'm being taken back to many of the decisions that I made in the past, and I'm reliving them. And I'm trying to also piece this together in order to using the retrocausality to reframe that original decision and reframe the outcome and reframe my perception of the outcome.
Well, one of the things we find out from the quantum physics world is that this retrocausality, there are certain observations, cataclysmic observations, that once they become fully observed, they are very, very resistant to change.
Yeah, exactly.
So one man, a quantum physicist, recently wrote down that time is very doggedly tries to adhere. So even if let's say you went back in time to try to save somebody, no matter what you did, it would be very, very difficult to find a way to save that person if the observation is so fully observed. Now, I think in the case of what happened here, I think that Jolt and Rita did not have time to fully observe that, and I didn't allow myself to fully observe it. So I think I could go back and I could.
Yes, that's the point. We never fully observed it at the time.
Right. So there are certain things that we cannot change.
Yeah, certain things might be karmic. Certain things might have been already chosen before we came to the earth. But I think that certain actions and certain situations can be affected, but not everything.
And I think, building on what you're saying, Rita, is that certain things at certain times as well, there's a kind of a veil that comes down. And, you know, when you look back, you think, why didn't I see it? It was there. All the evidence was there. So I'm finding in my dreams, I'm going back and I'm seeing the veil is lifted at that point in time in the past, and I'm seeing it all. So in that way, I can put all the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle together if I'm making sense.
Yeah. So I think that it's hard for our verbal deal. We are so busy making sentences which are subject, predicate, object, and everything has a timeline and a flow, and it's like we don't think of it being reversible, but it is. There is a flexibility, and we can expand it. So it's very interesting. I made the movie Retrocausality, and I'm using Doctor Strange, which is owned by Disney. And Disney fought tooth and nail. They tried to restrict it. Then finally, they gave up. So let's watch our movie on retrocausality.
Shot, Dizzy. Good for you. Okay, here we go.
We discussed premonitions before, but now retrocausality. Is it possible? Because now we understand that time is much more flexible than we ever imagined. We can affect the past, just like we can affect the future. Einstein's.
His theory of relativity tells us we live in something called a block universe, in which all of space and all of time are laid out like a roll of film, where the past, present, and future all exist at once.
Time
is not absolute. In fact, for us believing physicists, the distinction between the past, present, and future is but a stubborn illusion.
Can we use a time crystal to affect the past, to change the past? Is it possible?
You're a man looking at the world through a keyhole, and you've spent your whole life trying to widen that keyhole, to see more, to know more. And now, on hearing that it can be widened in ways you can't imagine, you reject the possibility.
There is a physical reality, an objective reality perceived by many, but there also is an inner reality perceived by the single person. And these do mix.
Because I do not believe in fairy tales about chakras or energy or the power of belief. There is no such thing as spirit. We are made of matter and nothing more. Just another tiny, momentary speck within an indifferent universe.
Great spirits get incredible resistance from mediocre minds. And now as science is broadening into quantum physics, entwinement, entanglement, we start to have a better definition of time and space. There is a yin and yang of the physical reality and the subjective mental reality. They work together, and they always exist at some level together.
You entered the astral dimension, a place where the soul exists apart from the body.
Why are you doing this to me?
To show you just how much you don't know. Open your eyes.
Cultures have dealt with the astral plane for thousands of years, since the beginning of human history, because there is a reality to this. It is mostly an inner dream reality, but there is some physical reality to these processes. And as we start to look at these processes, the scientific mind, even if they experience them, can so easily rationalize, twist, deny, because the verbal mind does not like to be able to deal with these type of inner feelings. We have a left brain and a right brain, and the logic side and a holistic side, an intuitive side, and they don't really like each other sometimes. So even when scientists are able to experience this in their own dream states or even other times, they deny it, they twist, they look away, because there's not the type of replicability. These things don't replicate. There's a yin and yang nature of this process, this intimate balance of these things that all come together and allow us to understand so that more. Since time has evolved, many people have told us of their trips. They've described their trips into their dreams. In fact, there are entire dream cultures built on dreams, solely on dreams, like the Aborigine. For over 50,000 years, a culture built on dreams. And that people who have experienced it, oftentimes because it doesn't replicate in the ways that the physical world does, so they start to deny it. Yet this reality, now quantum physics is starting to tell us more. And quantum physics is starting to give us a different perspective. So we see that these dream states are indeed possible. And we can start to wake up to this. And we can start to see that these things are definitely real. And as we get into this reality, we're going to be able to see that we can control this and it can be helpful. At first it's scary, it's terrifying, but slowly we can start to embrace it and come to a better understanding of ourselves and the world that we live in. Our pendulum is able to help with this process. It's able to help to bring these processes out and to help stabilize the quantic nature of what's going on, so we can set ourselves free and have more feelings and intuition, so that we can be able to see. And as we do this, we're going to see that not only do we have more premonitions, but we also have retrocausality. We can shape the past. We can be able to find ways to help us to deal with the past and open our window of the now to start to include more of the near past and near future.
Teach me.
You know, there is a saying, a very old saying, the pupil is ready, the master will appear. It will take dedication, it will take time.
So now let me teach you a little bit more about retrocausality and how, with our time crystal, that sustained scalar field in the orgonite can help us to reach into the past and to help to see things and affect the past. Just like we see with Dr. Strange's pendant, his ability. We have these processes ourselves.
Retrocausality. The idea that it is our future choice that causes that uncertainty.
Retrocausality means the future affects the past.
Perhaps the evolving tapestry of entanglement, in all its impossible complexity, is what really defines reality in this space-time.
The beginning and ending of events are fixed in time, but Ken argues quantum physics creates flexibility in the middle. And that flexibility offers us the chance to control our fate.
What is absolutely clear in these experiments is that the measurement of a particle in the present can influence the properties of that particle in the past.
In the Newtonian clockwork universe, the initial state and the laws determine everything there is. There's no freedom given the initial state. In a time-symmetric universe, it's not obvious that that's true, because if something is dependent not only on the initial state...
In other words, a decision made in the present can influence something in the past. The effect seems to precede the cause.
But equally on the final state, now those intermediate events aren't predetermined in the sense they're not determined by the initial state. They might eventually be determined, but there's more wiggle room for free will.
Excuse me. Do you mind if I,
Free country. What's that?
Oh, nothing.
Sure it's not a 1-minute time machine?
Huh? Damn it.
As we get premonitions in the present, the premonitions that come from the future basically are there, and it's kind of like a reversal of time. So the future, where we had the mistake, is kind of erased, as we now have a different future in this timeline.
Excuse me. Do you mind if I,
It's a great country. What's that?
Well, it certainly isn't a 1-minute time machine. Damn it.
So when we are in a predicament in the future, we can be able to reach back and send a message to ourselves in the past that helps us to recreate something different, change the past.
My lunchbox.
It's weird. I like weird.
Cool. I'm Lames. I'm James.
James. Are you trying to pick me up?
No. Come on. Do I look that strong?
Major cataclysmic observations that are hard and fixed, those are difficult, if not impossible, to change things. In the meantime, some of the little processes in the middle, they can be changed through retrocausality.
Pick me up.
Yes. I'm trying to.
Try harder.
Hi.
Harder.
Coffee.
Harder.
Dinner. We go back to my place.
Right now?
And make sweet love.
Oh.
And fuck our brains out.
Finally. I'm so sick of men who can't just ask for what they want.
I want you to spank my bad little boy bottom. Come on, I thought you'd... Yeah, no. I want to...
As we expand our time and go deeper into the future, deeper into the past, we expand our now, our perceptions, our depth of space and time. And this allows us to be able to have an effect on the past.
We're going right now.
Oh. Hey, you like science?
Science. My 5-year-old niece likes science. I have a doctorate in quantum mechanics.
Oh, you like theoretical quantum mechanics regarding both our perceptions of time and how we deal with universal spatial geography.
Yeah. What's your favorite part?
The butt. We were still talking about science.
We could change things to a very, very intricate level. And maybe not have the complete change that we want, but we can make some subtle changes that later will change in their observation. And observations make the reality.
It's amazing. Scary as shit, though, right?
I know. Wait, what? Why?
Well, have you read the chapter on practical application?
Of course I read the chapter on practical application.
And?
And I am just gonna hit this little red button here.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. Who are you? What are you doing with my book?
Shh. I need to read this real fast. Don't worry. This one doesn't even count. Let's see here. 95 pages? Fuck that. No, I haven't actually read that. Been too busy doing instead of reading.
Doing actual practical time traveling? Have you used that yet?
I don't know. Maybe.
We would not be able to send matter back. We'd be able to have the ability to send messages, emotions, bits of mental advice.
Breaking the laws of nature, I know. Well, don't stop now.
The pendant will be able to make a sustained scalar field. okay, that will have an effect of opening a type of interaction of time and space. This will allow a certain retrocausality to proceed, where things are not quite just past, present, future, but more of a conglomeration over a certain period of time. A certain period of time that more and more you'll be able to change. So certain mistakes can be corrected. And we would be able to find that there is a way for us, with the help of our pendant, with the help of our consciousness, with the help of our minds, to be able to affect things through time and envision the future better and correct mistakes of the past. We would find that the different processes are really possible in our quantum world. So I welcome you to help to learn more about this, as we're going to have more videos and training sessions to help really get this point across. And with practice, you will be able to have more and more. At the International Medical University, we're here for evidence-based natural energetic medicine.
We're here for evidence-based natural energetic medicine.
We are here to help teach you.
We are here to help teach you.
Well, there we go. Very exciting.
Very, very, very exciting indeed.
Physicists know that all of this is possible. Very interesting.
It's certainly an expanded dimension of time and space, which, you know, you're showing us, Desi. It's amazing.
So I think it's going to be, I think that maturity is the ability to look into the future. The more mature you are, the further you can look into the future to see the consequences of your actions in the present. And I think that this little device of ours is going to increase people's maturity. They'll be able to see into the consequences of their actions today.
And also the effectivity of certain situations and circumstances.
Well, here's what some people have fed back, recently about their experiences, building on the ones that we've already spoken about last week. Hi, Jane. Much similar to last week, still dreaming every night. However, most of this week, most of the dreams have been very deep meaning and more dark, not color. Some very thought-provoking and left me guessing what the meaning could be. Feel a bit more centered than last week, less disorientated, and this is certainly interesting times. So I definitely think it's reliving some of the dark of the past and reawakening it, and as you say, retrocausality, shifting it, and then the future. So it all depends on an individual here. Another one, hi Jane, my observation since wearing the Time Crystal device, I have a lot of energy, I sleep better, I'm happier, more clarity and focus. Also noticed I'm dreaming about people I've not seen in many.
You went off, I don't see you anymore.
Internal.
Can you hear me? Are you internet?
I don't know. I also have this feeling about people who I haven't. I don't know.
I'm back. Something decided to shift me for a while.
Well, that happens.
My device is here on my neck. Maybe too much energy.
Maybe too much energy. You're right, Rita. Yeah.
There are evil forces working against us.
Or too much positivity.
Pretty much, yeah, very future positive. So, what else, Rita, did you want to share?
That I had the same perspective and the same perception about dreaming and having like insights about people I haven't seen for many years. And I started to actually internally resolve forgiveness issues with people from my past, like people from my childhood. I started to remember powerful emotional situations where I was sometimes hurtful, or also even those where I was a victim. And I started to internally transform these issues and calm down. Like my brain is not going on things so much. I am more like, okay, this is happening, I accept it, I process, and I'm able to move forward a lot faster and a lot more precise. No more circle thinking, no more too much complication. I feel more in the zone and more determined towards everyday little things and towards the whole, life goal during the week and even in sports.
It seems like it has an effect in the beginning, the first couple of days of being overwhelming. And then gradually where you get into it and start to accept it more,
It's really like putting on, if things are a bit blurred and you put on that pair of glasses and you can suddenly see things in perspective. Rita, I love the way you explained that, because it expands a little bit upon what I was doing. When you go to the past, there was a veil down, you didn't see it, now you see it, and be able to forgive what happened.
Yeah,
so it's emotional processing in the real time, here and now, and changing it in retrocausality. I love that.
And actually, anything what happened in the past, like many years ago, I can feel that situation so clearly. Like I would have jumped back in time, and now I'm here, and I'm like taking out the trash because it doesn't belong inside me anymore. It's very interesting. It's like a little internal journey with this device.
Totally. And I think also, Desi, for the first time, I really understood and got the yin-yang aspect. I really do feel I understand a little bit more.
Yeah, because most of the time people get so caught up in their word area that they lose sight of the other side, the yin, the shadow, the unconscious, the dream world. Because we all have the little places in our dreams that are real, that kind of come back to us many times. I have different houses that I go to only in my dreams. They only exist there.
I think this awakens certain parts in our emotions and in the brain which were uncovered until now, and this is now coming up to the surface.
So it frees up the mind, frees up. It's not a God stone, doesn't make you into a god, but it does affect things. But like when you see the little guy in the movie there with the 1 minute time machine, and he's reconstructing the same 1 minute 25, 30 times. I don't think we ever get that many chances. I think we might get 2 or 3 chances to fix something, but I don't think we're going to get 100.
And Jane, today I had something very interesting. We have a business partner who is a little bit complicated and always argumentative. And today I met with them and everything went smooth. They actually invited me for lunch, and there was no loud words because they are kind of in a powerful position, and it is always draining me when I have a meeting with them. Today I was wearing the device, and even my mother connected to the meeting, and it was actually fun. This was never happening like that. I usually have a headache or I have to go to sleep immediately when I finish with them because it drains me, and now I have a lot of energy. I feel okay, and I went to the gym after meeting with them. So the outcome was energetically completely different than until now.
Well, I mean, that's phenomenal. That's amazing. And building on that as well, I've had an absolute watershed of success with the patients this week. I don't even want to go into it now. I'm going to talk about it tomorrow, Desi. It has been a watershed, from cancers to Lyme's disease to skin disease to autoimmune. I can't even explain it to you. So I'm also bowled over.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to show you some slides in a moment. I'm going to share those. but I also wanted to say is I listened carefully last week when you talked about, the three brains, the head, the heart, and the gut. And I really am able to understand the relationship between, well, the head, the heart, and the gut. And I can see whether it's, when I'm observing, when I'm raised consciousness, and when I'm being made more aware. Like when I go back to those dreams, I'm being made more aware, and it's stimulating and exciting the gut aspect to be more aware beforehand of things.
Well, the gut is probably the most sensitive, because the gut is really not focused on the flow. The gut is capable of seeing a past and a future. So very interesting.
And I think that this is also like keeping the negativity away from situations and from events, and also people who are negative are not really coming to us. And I feel that our house is also safe. As soon as I leave the house, I feel safe. It creates a different safety and protection zone, I think, around us and in our home.
It's that wonderful sustained scalar wave.
Yeah.
Well, that creates a type of a bubble around you.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to see do you want to see our special man? Do you want to see some pictures before and after?
Yeah, let's see that. Uh-oh, we lost you again.
Jane, something is interfering with the internet or with the connection.
I'm back again. Has this ever happened? Have I ever disappeared twice? I don't think so. Anyway, I've also got a quantum SCIO open, and that might be affecting it too. But if you just give me a second or two, I'll just have to pull the slide in again. Sorry.
Okay.
Right now I have it here. That'll just take a few seconds to pull through. And then very encouraging results. Last week I spoke about my personal results. I think you all remember. And I was really astounded at the 100 reading for radiation and the 100 reading for viruses and a whole lot of other readings too. So today I'm going to share with you one of my oldest clients, and he's also listening in the audience. So maybe he'll also want to share something. But he's really somebody who listens to everything and does whatever he's told to do, and he reaps the benefits as a result of it. So have a look here. Here's our opening page, and then here are Perverse Energy Radiation Panel readings after 15 days. So if I make it a little bit larger for you, you'll see distinctly that these readings from 15 days ago are far higher than the readings today.
Right.
So you like that?
Yeah, very significant. Significantly lower.
Significantly lower. Especially all these megahertzes in the middle, X-ray, gamma ray, alphas, betas. So I thought that was great, and that really deserves, I think, a round of applause regarding him. And then let's have a look at this case study. So this patient presented, was a bladder cancer person. He'd undergone chemo. I found lots of parasites, lots of chemical environmental toxins. He was really, really loaded. A very poor liver, very, very clogged liver that required a huge amount of detoxification to clear it, and loads of radiation toxicity, which you saw. Bearing, yeah, all right. So that was what we found, and you can see this terrible itch. I mean, these people don't sleep; they itch all night. It itches, it burns, it itches, it burns. It's really, really chronic. It's not funny at all. So we have to wait often for these toxins to leave, and we need to work well with the liver so that we got some support there.
It's all liver related, yeah.
Yeah. So here we see then we started to descale after a while. You see with the, I suppose, the burning of more and more toxins coming out the skin, and the scale then started getting less. And then you can see here that there's a much finer skin. The scale's gone, nearly gone, and then it's gone. So we've got a whole different look here.
Cool.
And then that's the arm. And then we've got today.
Wow.
I was absolutely gobsmacked. I was absolutely amazed. I looked at this man. He's 85. He had baby skin on his face. His head before, by the way, had scale. The entire scalp has scale. The entire forehead and it just absolutely baby skin. I can't explain it. And he's put on 5 kilograms of weight, and also, and I know he's listening too, but complete neurological and emotional shift, because 15 days ago, over rationalization, really, sensory overload and hypersensory, and today calm. He took out his hearing aids because I asked him to, and he heard the birds outside. So he's also starting to see that, wow, even the ears, even the hearing is picking up. So, that was just, I just think, just awesome. And we're blessed and we're grateful. And, as far as I'm concerned, the time crystal had a big effect because he placed it all over the skin where it was very itchy, and on the liver. And so we've got, we're building up some really nice case studies here.
Cool.
So, Mr. Sorry?
That's what we need.
That's what we need. And it needs to be valid and verified and all the rest of it. So, now more than ever, I showed this last week about the yin and the yang and the torsion field and the scalar waves. For those of you who just joined us now, I suggest you get onto either Daisy's YouTube or the 365 Healthy by Choice. The Jane McKenzie YouTube, because all these Wednesday evening webinars are recorded, and you can get last week and the week before as well.
Great. Now that's where to start.
Yeah.
Make sure that if they don't just watch the videos, they might miss some of the commentary that I make. So to watch the commentary is very, very important.
Very, very important. Not just the videos, exactly. To watch our live recorded event. Right. So, here we talk about fortifying the body electric, and we are electromagnetic beings. And this is just honestly resonates with me my whole life, the reason why I'm here. And a sustained torsion field scalar wave, I'm telling you, everyone, this is what it's about. And Desi, you know what? You've hit the nail on the head here. You've cracked it again, because we have a free energy protection. And that kind of radiation results, I think, bears relevance. And in a clinical situation where we can see that skin return to color in 2 weeks, that's just also really, really amazing. And also to be able to ward off aberrant forces, aberrant negative forces, just fabulous.
Yeah. So the orgonite that we made a super type of orgonite that surrounds the scalar field generator. So the scalar field generator passes through it along with the prayer wheel. And basically this orgonite will then take the negative orgon and what Reich called the cancer causing orgon, and then it converts it into positive. Well, here with this time crystal, device and the scalar field, which both operate independent of normal time. So thereby, this orgonite and this the effect is expanded through a time. And as a person wears this, we're hoping that they can expand into a minute into the future and past, and then maybe later into 2 minutes and 3 minutes, until they can start to really see an awful lot more, and they expand their circle of time, and they become more mature, and they start making better decisions about their future. And then they start actually seeing that they can send messages back to their past self and maybe affect things. Could it be that we send message to our past self, and in a whole different timeline, somebody doesn't, there's not an accident, Those are all things that are possible. But what this thing does is it works so far beyond our verbal brain. So somebody asking a question, I think this is Christine is asking about the hypnosis. Hypnosis and dehypnosis are based in a verbal context where we have to try to induce a type of trance. And then we get to a point where the verbal mind is not so involved. And this device here just is really a mechanism that is a bit of super quantum technology to make all of that easier and make that expand. So just like you could swim across the river, but if you have a little bit of technology called a boat, it's easier to get across the river. So this is a new type of quantum technology that is meant to help us in our lives.
I think now more than ever, something like this is critical, because each one of us needs to be resetting ourselves amongst all these mini, medium, and large-sized tsunamis that are hitting each one of us individually. We need to steer our course, with a laser beam focus, going forward into our newer future, newer space as individuals. And this kind of thing, I believe, is the tool, one of the tools to do this. So really, the timing is just incredible, in fact. I'm most grateful, most definitely.
Well, if you play, there's a video that I sent you just now, a little bit ago. Okay, it ends with the HREM 88. You see that video?
Did you send it? Send it again. I've just posted one on the site. Did you send one before?
I sent it on the chat. This is on the chat.
You put it? No. Oh, okay. Won't you just put it again? Because when I left, when I went to that other dimension, I lost it.
Okay, I'll send it to you.
Could you just post it back on the chat, because then this will be probably the saved chat. So for when people view this, thanks, Desi. So let's just have a look at this as well. But before we do that, Desi, you see what Vanessa's saying there about the effect on inanimate objects, the changing energy in spaces, rooms, and classrooms. Vanessa, what were you meaning about that?
Yeah, is she making a statement or is she asking a question?
Yeah, just come back to us whether you're making a statement or coming back to us. Thanks.
Now, this video that we're going to play, I just want you to play about just 1 minute of it. It's fine.
All right, hold on. So you want me to take this link and play it? All right, just a second.
And just play 1 minute, then I'll come back.
All right.
That's enough. That's enough. Yeah, that is I designed that with music vibrations. There's ultra and infrasounds that you can't hear, but they're way into the 100 megahertz. In order to play that, you'll need a really quality soundboard on your computer, something that Dell has a very good soundboard, or you have to check the quality of the soundboard, because you'll need soundboards that will be able to take the sound into higher frequencies. This is designed to help to further trigger your mind into opening the portal into the past. Today we're talking about retrocausality. There's another video on the on my site that helps you go into the future to create a better future. But this is the one that's designed for the past. And by practicing with it in a quiet room, listening, watching with the pendant, you can gradually start to practice and be able to send messages, and maybe if you practice enough, you'll be able to take your consciousness into a past you.
Yeah.
See more what was actually happening.
Mm-hmm.
And experience it in a different way.
Sure.
Be the observer to events. And recognize that when we get into this, that events are a little on the quasi side. People think that they know and they see things, but we find out that the human senses are not very good. One of the worst eyewitness reports are some of the worst bits of evidence, and yet that's what our entire courts are based on. It's scary.
Absolutely scary. Gosh, I would say that looks fabulous. That looks amazing. Thank you for that.
There's one on the future, and then I'm going to have a guided imagery one. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm going to take that same sound system and make one where I can guide you into images of the past, tell you to pick the time and the place, and then I will help to guide you into that. So I will hope to have that done possibly by next week.
Wow.
So it's very exciting time. This is the super technology. It's very interesting. And it's just now starting, so if you want to be if you're one of those people that want to be on the razor's edge of things, this is the time to join.
Definitely. No question. So somebody there's asking about whether pregnant women may use it.
Of course, yeah.
Expanded Torsion field.
Imagine no. There's this is very, very low output. It's a scalar field, and there's no indication whatsoever. Plus the fact that there is a prayer wheel that would chase away negativity or negative spirits or whatever. So basically, I believe that there's just no way that this thing could hurt people.
Not at all. Doesn't even enter my head. Not possible. So Vanessa's come back and she said she's asking about the effects of the device in closed spaces.
Well, because it's a scalar field, it will fill the room that it's in. So if you're in the bedroom, it's going to fill your bedroom. If the door's open, some of it will get out into the other place. If you're in a lecture room, it could fill the lecture room. It's a question about how big an area. When we were playing with the possible, we found people with small gardens, a hectare, whatever, that they found that they could affect it with that. So we don't know when we get outside, just what are the limitations. But at any rate, it's this energy does not penetrate through walls so easily. If you want to protect the house, you have to have it central in the house so that it helps. But it does, fill the room that you're in.
I believe that even when we always feel that there are certain little things we have a hard time getting started or completing, like little tasks. And with this energy in our system or around us, everything goes like naturally, more organic flow of life. Like the life force is coming back and everything is so natural. All processes, what we want to start and finish. If it's like getting up earlier, affecting the pineal gland, finishing little tasks, getting going somewhere, being at places on time, everything like that goes very, very naturally and immediate.
The effect on the pineal gland is profound.
Yeah, and also on inflammation. That's definitely visible. I had, as mentioned, a major surgery on my nose like 2.5 months ago, and it constantly brings down the inflammation. And I had also a major tooth infection, and my face was very, very swollen on the right side. And it is now definitely visible that the inflammation went lower.
When she puts the pendant onto the inflammation, it goes away within minutes. It's amazing. Then,
I've seen the same. And measurable on our quantum device, the inflammation markers come down, as does adrenaline. Adrenaline nearly gets to 100 out of 100. Cool. It's amazing.
Sometimes I think that sleeping is not easy for everybody because it gives you a lot of thoughts and insights and dopamine and endorphin. It can also activate more hormones in the body and thinking. So it might be too powerful to leave it on the body for sleeping. But maybe for certain people it might work. This is something what we have to study and test.
And I think it's each person, each person will know. Yeah. Exactly. I think it's a matter of detoxification because if you detox quickly, you can wear it easily. Maybe it depends on the level of, or the amount of toxicity that needs to go. Exactly. So, it's very exciting because we're right at the beginning of our investigations and our, experiences and understanding exactly where this is going to lead us to. And I've got about 10 people, Rita, that I've done before and will be doing after assessments. Yeah, so we can, we'll definitely see the trends. We can predict the trends now. I can already because I've seen a few, but and then we've got some hard data as well, which is really going to help everything, move to the next level. So I just wanted to show this one here as well. Is if you want to get this, if it resonates with you and you're onto this thing, which is what is happening with most people, there's the price and it's on the website, and there are some bulk orders as well, which you could avail yourself to. If a group of you get together and buy 5, you're going to save. And then, there's also, Daisy always offers her karmic options. So 1 or 2 people have requested this, and I'm going to be sending all of those to Daisy to preview. But honestly, right here and now, we don't need to waste time. We don't need to wait. We really have something that, as Daisy said, there's nothing like it on the planet, quite frankly, and probably 20, 30, 40 years ahead of anyone else coming up with something on this level.
This is one of the new type of quantum devices that, especially quantum time, there's nothing else like this. So very, very exciting. Okay, well,
unbelievable.
Walk off there for today and
just wait a sec.
Relax a little bit. If we had a hot day today, we need to cool off a bit.
Okay, go do that. You deserve it. You're giving us what we need here, Daisy. Thanks a million.
Okay, bye.
You do well too, Rita. Bye, everyone. Ciao, ciao. Okay, so that's where we are right now, and we really are pioneering. We're at the forefront of massive breakthroughs in terms of quantum medicine, healing, looking at not only physical, neurological, emotional, and spiritual as well. And, this kind of device really, really dovetails beautifully with the QUEX, Educta, and the SCIO. And so again, we really are on the leading edge. So it's over to you guys. And we'll be doing some more of this next week. Thank you all. So in terms of Sanjay, yes, it's going to it will reset. I'm not 100% circadian rhythm. A circadian rhythm is the Earth's circadian rhythm, and to reset that, you got to get your feet on the ground, and you need to observe nature and get to sleep before 10 o'clock at night and those kind of things, and then you will definitely reset your circadian rhythm. It's definitely going to enhance your rhythm, but it's more than just circadian. It's actually the morphogenic field. You're reestablishing your harmony with the morphogenic field from where we come. So more and more on this next time. I can't wait. And it's just awesome that so many of you have already got devices and have ordered and placed orders and are about to get. So we look forward to amazing feedback. And we anybody who's not on the website, I don't know, Tracy, I hope you're on the website. The link for the link for the training is you go to YouTube. Jane McKenzie. But Tracy, also you need to get onto the WhatsApp group +27 83459 6208, right? That is our WhatsApp. That's our WhatsApp group. So I think just text me on that number and I will add you to the WhatsApp group. Anybody here listening this evening who's not on the main WhatsApp group, please text me on that 365, on the 0834596208 number, and I will load you with absolute pleasure so that you can, get the real information in real time. It's a hectic group. There's a lot going on and a lot, but it's fun and it's awesome. So Gracie, it's definitely going to heal injury. Look how injured that skin was. That skin was really injured. Okay. All right, it's done. It's almost 8. We don't go over an hour. Then we passed our sell-by date. So let's treasure all of this. I'm going to download it now. I'm going to post it now as soon as I can post it, and have the best of the best. Bye, everyone.